Musicals are a huge part of doll franchises, with most having some sort of musical episode or movie. But in the 2000s and 2010s, there was a good amount of doll musical stage shows. These ranged from simple stage adaptations of movies to full-on concert tours. We're going to start with what originally inspired this video, the Barbie stage shows. And no, we're not going to talk about the hundreds of Barbie movie mall shows or the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade performances, though those are really cool and I would love to talk about them someday. The first four animated Barbie movies were adaptations of other stories, ranging from classic ballets to fairy tales. In September of 2004, Barbie released her first ever musical movie, the extremely beloved Princess and the Pauper. In 2005, Barbie released her first fully original film, Barbie Fairytopia. Fairytopia is the only Barbie movie to have two direct sequels, Mermaidia and Magic of the Rainbow, and a spin-off that received its own sequel movie, Barbie Mariposa, and its sequel, Mariposa and the Fairy Princess. As you can imagine, this was a huge step for Barbie, and they were going to milk it as much as they possibly could. Fairytopia had so many dolls, a whopping total of 35 Playline dolls across all of the films, not including the variant Alina and Mariposa dolls. There's probably more that I missed, but I spent like 4 days compiling a list of every Barbie movie doll I could find. And this is what I got for Fairytopia. The first Fairytopia movie alone had 16 dolls, including the Collector Enchantress doll, which would mark the first collector's edition of a Barbie movie doll. Fairytopia was, to put it very lightly, a cultural reset. After the release of the first film, Mattel decided they wanted to do more. And so,
there's a magical world where a wonderful adventure awaits. It's Barbie Live in Fairytopia. For the first time ever, Barbie and all the lovable characters from the movie come to life on stage in this enchanting story.
It was wonderful.
See glittering fairies fly. Hear inspiring original songs. Best of all, see the dazzling beauty of Barbie in person. Barbie Live in Fairytopia.
the Fairytopia musical, creatively titled Barbie Live in Fairytopia, basically follows the same plot as the film, divided into two 30-minute acts. This show was huge. The costumes were designed by Tony Award-winning costume designer Greg Barnes, who worked on shows such as Legally Blonde, Aladdin, and Mean Girls. The costume for Alina alone included over 15,000 beads and sequins and over 30 different types of fabric. 20 people worked on the dress for over 350 hours. 11 sets of wings were made, and a mermaid tail and costumes for other characters such as Hugh and Fungi were created. The show was directed by Eric Schaefer, who has experience directing on Broadway and in London. It features 14 original songs written by Susan DeLallo and Robbie Roth. The first act of the musical features 8 songs titled I'm Flying, The Friends You Haven't Met, Laverna's Formula, Go Into Azura's Cottage, A Rainbow in Your Eyes, Rise Above It All, Laverna's Checklist, and Stay a While. The second act of the musical features 6 songs: The Friends You Haven't Met Reprise, Go Into Laverna's Castle, Azura's Necklace, Laverna's Exit, I'm Flying Reprise, and Rise Above It All Dance Mix. This brings us to a total of 14 songs. 2 of the songs are remixes, and one is a dance mix. Throughout December of 2005, auditions were held in New York City. From December 5th to the 7th, there was an open casting call held to find the actress who would portray Barbie herself. Eventually, actress Erin Elizabeth Kors, who would later go on to play Babette in the 2010 to 2014 national tour of Beauty and the Beast, was selected for the role of Alina. Laverna, the main antagonist of the show, is played by Stacey Bono, who has starred in many shows, including the role of Ellen in the national tour of Miss Saigon. The show began in March of 2006 in Pennsylvania and had its final show September 3rd of the same year in Sacramento, California. The show toured for 5 months in 22 US states, around 80 different cities. It ended with over 160 shows under its belt. According to an excerpt from the Barbie movie wiki, quote, "The award-winning production team worked hard to create awe-inspiring stage environments, and it was rumored that over 100 pounds of glitter had been used. There were aerial scenes that lasted for several minutes. The production was described as incredible by Erin Elizabeth Kors and a once-in-a-lifetime experience," end quote. The show, like any good musical really, had many pieces of merchandise available to buy at the show. Some of these included a CD, a mirror compact and comb set, and this iconic Bibble plushie. By far, the most interesting and unique piece of merchandise was the Alina Gold Label Collector's doll, which could only be bought at the show. The doll featured a doll-sized recreation of the costume worn by Alina in the musical. And though I couldn't find how much she cost originally, she's considered very rare now and is very sought after by collectors, including myself. The show on August 19th in Los Angeles, California was a special charity show. All of the morning show's proceeds would be donated to the Los Angeles chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and the show ended up raising over $13,000 for the charity in one night alone. Anyone who bought one of these special tickets received a unique Fairytopia gift bag and got to meet Alina herself. As far as we're aware, there's no full recording of this show available anywhere. However, there is a few low-quality clips here on YouTube, and the soundtrack, released under the name of Songs from Fairytopia, is available for free on YouTube, as well as on CD. Though Live in Fairytopia was Barbie's first adventure in the stage musicals, it certainly would be her last.
Por primera vez en Argentina, la princesa Barbie en el ópera. Barbie Live, las aventuras de la princesa.
Chicas, soy Barbie. Las invito a cantar en mi castillo.
Un musical lleno de magia y canciones. Éxito total. Nuevas funciones a la venta. Ticketek 5237-7200. Tarjetas exclusivas Visa y Visa Electrón. Barbie Live en el ópera.
Sometime in 2008, Barbie would venture onto the stage once again, this time in Spanish-speaking countries with her new musical, Barbie Live Las Aventuras de la Princesa, which I'm so sorry if I butchered that, I don't speak Spanish. This roughly translates to The Adventure of the Princess in English. This show follows Barbie and Teresa on the set of their new movie. After making a mistake during rehearsal, Teresa loses her confidence and is encouraged by Barbie to overcome her insecurity. Barbie and Teresa travel through the stories of Swan Lake, Rapunzel, and Princess and the Pauper, which seemingly uses the Diamond Castle outfits as their finale outfits, to show that their dreams can come true. I wasn't able to find a list of where this show toured, however we do know that it toured in Peru, Argentina, and Buenos Aires. This show also features a song called Fly along with 9 other original songs.
4, 3, 2, 1! Get your sparkle on!
Playing Barbie in Barbie Live is unbelievable, and with this show, Barbie's role is really to help her best friend Teresa gain confidence through their friendship.
I would say the show is all about finding yourself and leaning on your friends for support.
When I got the script and I saw that there's a really great message for the kids, very inspiring to just be a good friend, be yourself, be brave, believe in yourself, and I think it's a really important message for the kids.
We've created some really strong friendships in a very short time through our rehearsal process, and I think that you're going to see a lot of those friendships come to life on the stage when you see Barbie live.
All it takes is a little faith, believe it.
Come see Barbie Live in Singapore.
Show this world where you belong.
In 2012, EMS Entertainment would receive the rights to stage a new Barbie musical. And for the next 18 months, they would be hard at work on their new project, Barbie Live. Quote, Barbie Live is set on a Hollywood soundstage and follows Barbie and her best friend / co-star, Teresa, on the set of their new movie. When Teresa starts to doubt herself and her theatrical abilities, Barbie leverages lessons from her past taught in her popular DVDs, Swan Lake, Princess and the Pop Star, and Mariposa and the Fairy Princess, to teach Teresa and the audience to be confident, believe in yourself, and embrace the power of friendship. Barbie Live features recognizable popular songs from the animated Mattel hit movies and new music from the distinguished producer Robbie Roth.
I'm Kobe Rosenfeld, the director and choreographer of Barbie Live the musical, and next to me are the amazing, talented leading cast.
Hi, I'm Kelly Allen, and I'm associate director and choreographer. Hello, I'm Christina Miller. I'm playing Teresa.
Hi, I'm Chelsea Ray Bernier, and I play the role of Barbie.
Hi, I'm Randy Durkis, and I'm playing the role of Ken.
The show originally had an 11-show run throughout 2013, performing shows in Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines. However, the show would also have a short Australian tour in April of 2014, in which they performed in Melbourne, Brisbane, Sydney, and Perth. There was reportedly plans for the show to continue touring throughout different countries after Australia, but those plans never ended up happening. The show ended with only 20-something shows under its belt. Of course, similarly to Live in Fairytopia, the production team was star-studded, directed and choreographed by Kobe Rosenfield, who has notably worked with stars such as Britney Spears and Beyoncé, with original music by Robbie Roth, who also wrote the music for Live in Fairytopia. The sets were designed by Stanley A. Meyer, designer of the stage for Disney's Beauty and the Beast Broadway production. Award-winning lighting designers Jesse Blevins and Peter Morse, lighting designers for New Kids on the Block alongside others, took care of the stage lighting. It's pretty much impossible to find a completed list of songs for this show, but in my research, I was able to find 6 songs. They are Get Your Sparkle On from Fashion Fairy Tale. This song served as the kind of theme song for the show and was used in most of the promotional material. Finally, an original song for the opening of the show, Look How High We Can Fly from Princess and the Pop Star, sung by Mariposa and Catania, Be a Friend from Mariposa and the Fairy Princess, sung by Barbie and Teresa, You Are the Most from Magic of the Rainbow, and finally, Rise Above It All from Barbie Fairytopia. There was also reportedly merchandise sold at these shows, though I was unable to find any sort of information or pictures. The only mention I found was from a blog made in 2014, saying that the merch wasn't too in your face. This means there is no cast recording of this musical. Full recordings of either show have never been released, and it's very unlikely they ever will, though I wouldn't doubt them being in Mattel's archives somewhere. As of now, Barbie Live is Barbie's last foray into live theater, though there's much speculation about the Barbie movie being turned into a musical at some point. But Barbie Live wasn't Mattel's last. Monster High swept the world in every other area in the 2010s, so it's only natural that musical theater was next. Starting in April of 2016, Monster High would have its first ever live tour titled Monster High Live. Mattel got very creative, if you can't tell. The plot follows Frankie, Claudine, and Draculaura as they prepare for the dance competition announced by Headmistress Bloodgood. The show toured around Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, with its final show taking place May 7th, 2016 in Germany. All of the promotional material for this show features Claudine and Frankie in their basic outfits, but Draculaura's in her sweet 1600 outfit. I don't really know why. Thank God for the Wayback Machine, which lets us view the now-defunct website for the show, though there is a few surviving videos that let us see characters such as Caddy Noir, Cleo Denial, and Spectra. You can even still watch both of the official trailers. A second tour of the show was planned for spring of 2017, but was canceled for unknown reasons. There was 18 songs in the show, and you can still buy the CD from a few online shops. Despite the time it was released, Monster High Live was G1 focused, but our second Monster High show was G2 focused. Monster High, El Show En Vivo, ran in Mexico in October of 2016. This show featured 2 original characters and 14 original songs. One article describes the plot as, quote, the story of a group of friends who are given the mission of forging a new friendship between humans and monsters, who win the annual competition of Animad Horrors. The show toured throughout Mexico. However, a few articles mention an Italian tour, which means it could possibly be a re-adaptation of Monster High Live. After the success of the G3 Monster High reboot, in 2022, Mattel announced they would be partnering with Family Entertainment Live to create Monster High Live. This show follows Claudine, Draculaura, and Frankie as they get ready for the school's annual Monster Ball and learn that the best fright of the year will be more spectacular when they embrace their differences and all work together. Originally set to start touring in September of 2023, the show had 17 stops across 14 states, with more to be announced. The show also featured a monster ball that you could attend after the show for an extra cost. None of these shows would ever happen, though, as the show was canceled just a few days before the first date was to take place. The reasons are unknown, but it's very widely speculated to be due to low ticket sales. This cancellation was a blindside to the cast, who posted Instagram stories lamenting the cancellation. One member of the cast stated that, for many of them, this show was their only income for the next few months. This was on an Instagram story that's now been deleted, so I don't have a screenshot of it, but I do remember it being pretty widely talked about in the doll community. Since the show never officially happened, we have very little information about it. There's 4 confirmed songs, 2 of which can be heard in a behind-the-scenes video from 2023. These songs are remixed versions of G1's Fright song, 3 of Us, Coming Out of the Dark, and True Monster Heart. It's likely this is the most we'll ever see of the show. Now, we can't discuss Mattel without talking about MGA. Bratz also had a venture into live shows, albeit in a different way. That's right, Bratz had a concert. In April and September of 2007, Bratz had a live concert tour titled Bratz Passion for Fashion World Tour. There's not a lot of information on this tour. I couldn't even find a list of dates, There was a website, but even with the Wayback Machine, it's lost. Most of this information comes from Look and Bratz. Quote, the Bratz Passion for Fashion World Tour is a musical concert featuring actresses playing the Bratz girls, Chloe, Yasmin, Sasha, and Jade, as they meet teen superstar Zach Idol. The Bratz are initially excited to meet their idol, but soon learn he is a fashion phony when he tries to steal their design ideas. The show featured 22 songs, 3 of which were reprises. The show only toured in the UK, and very little footage of it exists. What does exist, however, is archives of the merchandise for the show, ranging from pamphlets to necklaces to dolls. This show had a heavy amount of merchandise. I found an article from Daily Mail complaining about how expensive everything was, and that was the most positive thing in the article. Our final 2 topics aren't necessarily doll franchises, but they did have dolls, so they're being counted here. Everybody's seen My Little Pony Equestria Girls Rainbow Rocks. It's highly regarded as the best movie in the series. But have you ever wondered how it would look on stage? Wonder no longer. In 2016, MLP made its musical debut with My Little Pony musical Rainbow Rocks. The show premiered November 10th in Jakarta and had 3 shows in Singapore on November 24th, 25th, and 27th. It officially ended its run November 29th, 2016. It's really weirdly unclear when exactly the shows ran. Each social media for it had different dates. This show used songs obviously already from Rainbow Rocks, but also from the shorts that led up to it, although Rarity and Applejack's songs were switched. Winx Club's first stage production was Winx Club on Tour in 2006, also known as Winx Power Show depending on who you ask. Out of this list, this show is the only one with a full recording available for free on YouTube. It toured in Italy, the Netherlands, Hungary, Japan, Germany, Portugal, Mexico, Russia, Turkey, Greece, Singapore, and France. It featured 14 songs, and I'm not going to bother explaining the plot or anything, as you can go watch it for yourself with the link in the description. In 2014, Winx Club began its second stage show, Winx Club Musical Show. This show toured from December 6, 2014, all the way to April 4th, 2015. It was created to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Winx Club. The plot follows the Winx as they celebrate their anniversary at a feast held by Faragonda. The 6 girls perform in a show, recounting their favorite moments throughout their friendship, complete with songs, choreography, and of course, magic. In true Winx Club fashion, the Tricks crash the party. Featuring 13 songs and 1 instrumental, Winx Club Musical Show has a damn good soundtrack, even including a brand new song about the Tricks, sung by the trio of witches themselves. To celebrate the 20th anniversary, Italian theme park Mira Bylandia premiered their brand new exclusive Winx musical titled Winx Forever in 2024. The official description of the show says, quote, the peace and quiet of Bloom, Flora, Stella, Musa, Aisha, and Tecna between classes and daily commitments in Althea is suddenly interrupted when Flora disappears at the hands of Voltor, the evil sorcerer determined to conquer magics with the help of the Trick, the wicked witches who are the fairies' enemies. In order to foil Voltor's plans and restore peace to the magical dimension, the help of the specialists, always ready to defend Althea's most special fairies, will be needed. Not too much is known about this show as it's pretty new, though I'm sure there's a few videos floating around out there that I was unable to find. While not technically a musical or stage show, I also wanted to quickly cover the Winx Club ice skating show called Winx on Ice. The show's main character is, surprisingly, not Bloom. It's a completely new character named Carolina, a young, poetry-loving girl who steals a magic diary from an antique shop. Carolina is transported to Althea via the diary, and is quickly manipulated by the Tricks, who convince her to use the magic diary for evil. Carolina turns into a witch, while the Winx and the specialists search for her in an attempt to save her. In the end, Carolina uses the spell she was going to use to kill the Winx against the Tricks and Valtor instead. So yeah, she kills the Tricks and Valtor. Carolina is played by Carolina Costner, the 2012 figure skating world champion. Some other notable stars of the show are Silvia Fontana as Icy and Camilla Pistorello as Musa. The show toured twice, once from November 6, 2008 to January 6, 2009, and the second time from March 24th, 2010 to April 18th, 2010. I'm sure there's more shows I missed that are based off of doll franchises, and if there is, I might make a part 2 to this, including covering the Barbie Macy's Thanksgiving Parade performances. Honestly, I've been working on this video for like 2 years at this point, so I'm super excited to finally be able to get this up. This is my first video on this channel, so if you enjoyed it even a little bit, a like would be appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!